Yo, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Morning Market Report. I am Arby Piper. We got a lot of red on the markets today, guys. Stock market having a little bit of issues this morning. Of course, the crypto market looking here on the hourly, quite a bit of red behind me. Bitcoin having a little pullback overnight there. You see it right there? Little pullback right into the golden pocket again. We're going to talk about that. But guys, today we're going to talk about where does Bitcoin stand in the world of finances in comparison to gold. And we're going to talk about the war that is currently ongoing and will probably be for some time ahead in the world between China and the United States and where we sit with gold and Bitcoin. So we're going to talk about all that and a whole lot more today on the Morning Market Report. You guys know what time it is. Take your seats. Get your notebooks out. It's time. Class is in session. See you on the other side. Let's go. All right. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Morning Market Report. This is the Piper Academy Network, and we come at you every morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, bringing you guys all of this data to help you understand how to navigate the markets. Of course, as the opening says, this is not financial advice, but welcome to the show, everybody. Let's go ahead and bring up Chat Cam. I'm by myself today. OC guy is at breakfast with his lovely spouse, so they're not here today. But yeah, guys, we're gonna go ahead and keep this thing running. Let's go up here and see who all's in the chat with us today. We got Alexandra G, the mod queen, in here with us. Always a pleasure, and she's always here. The most loyal alumni member ever, right there. Donato Cabrera in the house. Harp, Trade Intuition, T.I. Joe, what's up? He said, remember to smash that like. It's the easiest way to show your support and help the channel grow at 100. Appreciate you, brother. Crypto Ben saying good morning. Crypto Billy dropping them all. Billy, you got your own emoji too, bro. There you go. It's heart nose. Heart nose. Okay. What's up, Billy? How you doing today, man? Wixwife 589, 2 dubs in the house. We've got Heart. Dylan VA might play. Who else we got in here today? Not a ton of people, but no redirect to us today. It's okay. We'll stay small, but we'll stay mighty. What's up, Melissa? Robert Mulligan in here with us also. Robert Mulligan, next time you're in Dallas, bro. Next time you're in Dallas, we gotta link up. CJ Taylor saying good morning to everyone. Good morning to you, Clyde. Let's see. Retro Mike Tech. He said bloodbath red is my favorite color. Can I get that in a paint? What does that paint look like? I'm gonna have to take a sample and go here. This is a chart of all the crypto bubbles. Can you make it that red right there? Who else we got in here? Dano Crypto. That's the chess move, my friends. It is absolutely. Yeah, there is some chess being played right now in the markets, guys. For sure. It has to do with gold and Bitcoin. I don't think Bitcoin has started its thing yet. I don't think it's going to happen this cycle. We might have a top in. We'll talk more about that here in a bit. But yeah, what else we got? JB Hulk Smash in here with us, joining in. All right. All right, guys, let's go ahead and go jump over to the Bitcoin chart. Let's take a look at that. And we'll show you guys where we're at and what happened overnight here. See what had happened was we came above here and we tried to hold above this previous value area low that we have here. This is from this fixed range volume profile coming from back here once we broke out and got a higher high. And so it starts there and it moves all the way over. It starts right here on this candle and it moves across this entire range. And you can see we got a point of control sitting up at about 117,630. We do have a value area low that we had to hold above at 110,529. I thought we were going to come up to the 50. To be honest, I did tell everybody, watch for a rejection on the 50%. If you come upwards and reject down from that point, it's very bearish. Didn't even quite make it there. Chart Prime Oscillator Pro did give us a downtrend arrow on this candle right there. Said, hey, this is your downtrend. We're going down. And pretty much, yeah, that's been it. Now back to the golden pocket. Getting a bounce here on the 0.66. It's not a fib level. It's a GAN level, but I use that for my golden pocket. It works pretty well, in my opinion. And now we're watching to see what happens here this morning. I will point out that the Oscillator Pro ribbons ribbon is sitting here for a zero bounce, a zero line bounce. And if you look historically, you can get rejections on this. You can get some good bounces on this. I am going to be watching that to see what happens there with this oscillator ribbon as we approach here. But I do want to point out, you guys see this wave, and I can actually come over here, go in here. We're going to go into this, and we're just going to put this on money mode. And you'll see what happens when I click that. It just shows the money flow. Money flow is slightly above the zero line, but we are making lower lows on this. So keep that in mind and be aware. Don't be scared. Be prepared. Money mode there, showing us the money flow. So we are coming down a little bit. Volume is also coming down. That is this bottom wave here. That is waving down. And when you see money flow coming down with volume, typically indicates that you're likely going to see some more lower levels on Bitcoin. Yeah, I think that's what I'm seeing there. Pretty much in line. I do want to draw a fib on here. Let's just see the fibs. Let's see here. What all we got? Who we got? Who we got in here? You guys are just chatting it up. I love it. Just sub Dano. Yeah, you guys following Dano Crypto. You should. US Gold. USA Gold certificates being sold to buy Bitcoin. Dano Crypto said. Mm-hmm. I got a good video for you guys today. We're going to break it down what's actually happening with gold right now, and when you see it and you understand what they're explaining in this video, and then we talk about Bitcoin, it's going to be an aha moment for you. Aha. But one thing that I do want to do, I want to pull a fib from this level here where we got rejected down to here. Let's put on a magnet. Turn on the magnet, sir. There we go. And let's get that to the right spot. You can see here, and we'll turn this fib off. The other one's off. We got our rejection yesterday on the golden pocket to the upside from this low to this high. So not a good look. Not a good look at all. I did think we might make it up to the platinum pocket, which would have been a rejection off of that dynamic reactor, but that actually would have been worse, just so you guys know, because then it's going to be a whole different game where we start looking at previous cycles that we get rejections off of those levels after this turns red. And we've talked about this the last couple of days in detail. So I just wanted you guys to be aware of that. But let's go look at the high time frame. We'll take a look at that right now, see what's going on with the level we talked about yesterday. We talked about this last night in the members only chat also, guys, the members only stream, I should say, that we have on Monday. So if you're a member here, we do a session every Monday afternoon, evening, depending on where you are in the world. So, but we did get a rejection here off of the bull market support band and the daily dynamic reactor from Chart Prime's Market Oracle Pro. And we are now seeing a push down off of that level. Bears taking control of this weekly candle here, and you can see they're absorbing all that buying pressure that's coming in. So be careful there. We are doing a continuation wave here on the oscillator. This is the MVP oscillator, and you can see as we go back in time, when we get this wave on the weekly, let's get rid of that real fast and start that drawing over. When we get this move on the weekly, this just creates lower lows, lower lows, lower lows, which is what we saw back here in March of 2024, leading to about a 30% drop on the bottom side. So again, magnet, thank you. Let's go down here and measure that. That was 33.5% move to the downside there. So let's go back and check the chat out. And then we'll jump over and knock out the news today. Let me get that all set up for you. Since I'm riding solo like Jason Derulo. Let's see here. Bingo Bango, Trade Intuition in the house. I appreciate it, man. JR, our community trader over in our Discord, dropping all kinds of stuff in there. Bingo Bangos and Pipers. And who else we got in here? Crypto Coin Mindset. Keith, how you doing today, brother? Nice to see you. Baba Yah saying good morning. Got his coffee. I got my coffee too. It's my Doomsday coffee. Doomsday. Inside Out. Very good cartoon. I think I think a lot of people can learn something about that. Damn, I'm late. I'll sit in the back of the class. Yeah, just take your seat in the back of the class. All the rib chat and fires galore in there. Perfect. Piper's Pit is fun. Yeah, that's what username calls the Monday session. He calls it the Piper's Pit, and I can go with that. Pie Bear's in the house. No, hey, I'm actually super bullish off of the stuff that I found on Bitcoin. in gold and what's going on with China right now versus what's going on with the United States right now, I'm actually super bullish on Bitcoin, just not short term. I think that what we're going to end up seeing is I think we're going to be heading into a period that's a normal cycle pullback. But I think that that is going to be the most opportune moment that we have for future generations, not just us. So let's go ahead and jump over to the news. Let's talk about that. And of course, I don't have it set up. Why would I? Why would I have it set up? It's only like I'm running everything over here in the background by myself. All right, let's jump in here. There we go. Perfect. Let's go talk about the dashboard into the Cryptoverse metrics, guys. If you guys don't have this, I use a lot of this in our sessions, and we talk a lot about it here on the show and stuff. But there is a link down below if you want to check it out. It's about $99 a month, so it's pricey, but it's pretty good stuff. Or you can just tune in here and I'll share some with you. Looking at the crypto market cap right now, guys, we're sitting at $3.67 trillion. Current trend level is coming in at $4.537 trillion, currently undervalued almost 20%. We're at 19.11%. And then looking at the risk bands, this is part of the Piper Plan DCA metrics. This is one of the things that we use for it. We're sitting at 49% risk band, which is a 3x DCA on Bitcoin. Looking at Bitcoin dominance, we're at 59.01%. Take away the stable coins, get rid of those stable coins, throw them out. Yeah, you're sitting at 64% dominance right now. A lot of money flowing back and forth between Bitcoin and stable coins, and you can see that big difference there. It's a nice gap there of about 5% dominance difference. That's stable coins right now. So not going into alts. Why not? Because it's not alt season. That's why. Alt season sitting currently at 45.65 and continuing down. Guys, this thing's going to head into Bitcoin. We're now closer to Bitcoin season than we are alt season, just so you know. It's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. All right, looking at total liquidations in the past 24 hours. How are those looking? Juicy. Past 24 hours, 125,305 traders got liquidated. Total liquidations coming in at $352.69 million. Why is my chair swooping down? My chair's just having a mind of its own today. That's okay. There we go. Studied up $352.69 million. Largest single liquidation order happened on Binance. It was an ETH trade for $2.98 million. Let's go look at the Fear and Greed Index. How are we looking on this? Do we have an update on this? This is 4 hours ago. Typically, they drop them about it. Yeah, 15 minutes ago. There we go. Let's put that in there. Let's go back. And let's look at that. Fear and Greed Index sitting at 34 right now on Bitcoin as price is near about $108,293. We can get rid of you. You're the old one, sir. There we go. And Ethereum is sitting at 39 right now in neutral. So Bitcoin's in fear, Ethereum's in neutral. Quite interesting. Clash report. This is what we're going to talk about today, guys. We're going to go into depth on this, but I just want to show you. This is China's gold stock levels, and you can see they pretty much maintained a pretty steady thing all the way from 2010 when this was starting to be tracked until a key event. If you guys know what that key event was that caused China to start hoarding gold, let me know in the chat. I'm curious to see if you guys know what event happened at the timeline that this purchase of gold started to happen for China. What's up, Wave Cypher in the house? I appreciate you being here, man. How's it going? We got Wave Cypher in here with us. We're doing big things when Wave Cypher shows up. Yeah, let's look here. Dow Jones up about 0.25% right now. S&P pretty flat, 0.05% to the downside. NASDAQ down about 0.25%. The Russell 2K down a full 1%. Gold, chaining groups. No, it's not. I'll tell you in a minute. I just want to see what you guys say. The VIX is sitting above 17, which means that we are looking at a little bit of volatility. 17 is kind of that threshold, but nothing horrible right now. Kind of calm markets, honestly, this morning, even though everything's kind of grinding down. Looking at the 10-year, we are staying below 4% right now. We're sitting at 3.955% there. How about oil? Still sitting well below $60 a barrel, which is a red flag. Red flag, 56.99 right there, which is under $60, 57 now. How about gold? Guys, Gold is down 3.7% today. Silver is down 6.13%. A lot of consolidation, pullback and consolidation on gold and silver. We'll take a look at that chart here in a bit too. Copper is down. Platinum is down a lot, 7.3%. And palladium is down 6.59%. Username said it was due to, let's jump over here and I'll come back to the news. Let's see here. It was due to Godzilla moving westward. Duh. Nope, not that. It went into a new category. You're close, DJ Mac, and I'm impressed that you know that. That's pretty good. It's called the Bezel 3. We'll talk about that too. Gold chaining groups. Yep, just interesting to see what you guys are putting in here. Just go back over to the news. Looking at when will the government shutdown end? November 7th is what the poly market is now estimating as the highest likelihood. Guys, continuation, October 21st. We still have no federal government open. Take that for what it's worth. Looking at the gold bubbles. Oh, look, hourly's getting a little bit of a bump. That's nice. Bitcoin down about 0.8% on the daily, up about 1.2% in the last hour. We're getting a little bounce. I want to go check this chart real fast. 1 second. What happened here? Oh, hey, we're running back up on that value area low. You guys can't see it. I'll pull it over here. There you go. Getting a little bounce on that golden pocket range and heading up to that 110. Let's see, where is that? All right, guys, we're looking at 111,221. That would be the golden pocket range again, just so you guys are tracking. So that's the level, 111,227, I guess, 111,227. So yeah, that's the level to watch there on that for that retracement that we're doing right now to the upside. Looking at Ethereum, down 2% on the daily. Big movers today. Let's see. Anything big? 3.3% on Chainlink, downside move. Hyperliquid down 5.5%. Bitcoin Cash is up 1.3%. It's actually green for the day. Not seeing much happening to it today in comparison to the other coins and or tokens. And rounding out top 20, Litecoin down about 0.5%. Overall, like I said, kind of a flat day. Yeah, we did get a pullback, but nothing crazy going on. The stock market is starting to get some green on it now. NASDAQ, it just split in half its downside. It was down over a quarter. Now it's down 0.12%. So we are seeing a little bit of action there. Let's go look at the economic calendar this week, guys. Of course, the federal government's still closed, so we're not seeing a whole lot come in on the we're not seeing a whole lot come in on economic data because a lot of these agencies are closed. But we are going to be getting some data this week. If the government reopens, which there's a little Hassett said likely this week they'll reopen. We will see on that. But if they do, we're going to get all this jobless data coming in on Thursday, which I think might be a little danger. And then Friday, we're going to get actual data. And this is going to be CPI data coming in, regardless if they're open or not. We should get inflation rate, core inflation rate, CPI data. As of right now, core inflation rate month over month, which does not include energy and food, is expected to be neutral, no change. Year over year, core inflation expected to be neutral or slightly down. That'll be interesting to see. Inflation rate month over month expected to be neutral, and then inflation rate year over year expected to be higher, which means overall inflation, because food and energy, the things you need, especially going into winter, they are going higher. So kind of a mixed bag here on inflation. Some of it better, some of it not worse, and some of it a little worse. But if the inflation rate comes in above these numbers, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with this. And this is going to be your FOMC meeting on October 29th. As of right now, we're looking at a 1.1% chance of no rate cut, 98.9% chance that we do get a 25 basis point rate cut on October 29th. That's going to be next Wednesday. Make sure you guys are tuning in like Tom Crown or Alex O, because they are one or the other will be going live during the FOMC. So that's going to be the thing to watch. Is that CPI data this week, because this is going to be the only real data. If the government doesn't reopen, this will be the only real data that they have to gauge what they're going to do on October 29th. So, yeah. All right. Returns history. How are we doing on this? Let's refresh it. Should have a little bit different number down there. Yep. 4.6% downside this October. Guys, we haven't had a downside October since 2018. 2018. We're doing worse than that one right now. The worst one, though, in history was 2014. We had a 12.95% downside in October. Of course, that was followed by a 100% return back. Down 12.9, up 12.9, 12.82 to be exact in November, and then December sold off. So it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out with October. Uptober has become Rectober. How are we looking on max liquidations? Max pain liquidations. Let's see here. What this is, guys, is this is the level that it would go to give the max amount of liquidations on certain asset, Bitcoin, for example, on this for shorts versus longs. $113,807 is max pain on all short traders right now. Max pain for all long traders right now is sitting at 105,856. So there you go. There you go. And we'll talk about this later here if we have time. This is pretty interesting. Nothing to do with crypto, but has to do with finance. And its parents are covering $1,474 monthly for adult kids. Crazy. If you guys have adult kids in your house, or you help adult children, if you have adult children, I don't know the ages of you guys. If you are still paying for your kids, let me know out there in the chat if they're adults, and let me know. GameStop says max pain is still $19.99. Retro Mike Tech, this guy. ETH is ripping, DJ Max said. Let's go take a look at the ETH chart then. Let's do that. That's what we got for news today, though, guys. Bitcoin, yeah, Bitcoin is right up to that value area low again. Let's go check out Ethereum, see how that's looking. Yeah. On the 5-minute chart, it might be ripping. I wouldn't call that ripping yet. I would say that this 382 at $4,000 is a pretty key level. Where are these fibs coming from? I'll show you. These are some old school fibs here, guys. These are based off of lows to highs to lows. This is the low of 20 the COVID-19 crash, 2020, to the high that we had in 2021, to the low that we had in 2022. And it gave us these fib levels. We have not even made it back to the 50% fib retracement, which is insane on this trend-based fib extension. Let's go back and look at the lower time frame, though, and let's see how that's looking. Bring it back like you left something. There we go. Yeah, I would watch right now on the 4-hour, guys. If we do get a break above here, look for a liquidity sweep of this previous double top here, and then a rejection off of that dynamic reactor. Dynamic reactor on this, if this continues up, dynamic reactor is coming in at about 4127. Quantum reactor at about 4200. And those would be the two levels that I would watch. And you can see once we go beneath it, look at, you guys know I'm always talking about the quantum reactor, that if it's red, if it turns red, as soon as you break through it, you're likely heading lower, and then we come back on that retest for it. Look at it. It's what happens, man. It's what happens. You can see here we went gray, sideways, and then it turns red there, and then we dump. Quantum reactor is super powerful. Love this thing. Just like here, it grayed out. We didn't go red. Then we came back and made this other high. Right now, we're solid red on this thing. That's not a good sign. But that's what we're seeing on Ethereum. I'm on the 5 scalping. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, scalping, dude, absolutely, man. These candles are absolutely crushed. That's an engulfing candle, even on the 4-hour. So, yeah, username, he doesn't want to grow up. I'm an adult kid. I'm never going to grow up. Retro Mike Tech said. Awesome. I'm an adult child too, if you guys don't know. I'm an adult child too. We all have parents somewhere. All right. What are we looking at here? Let's go get in to X marks the spot. I want to get in on this this gold thing, the gold thing. And I want you guys to watch this video first. Actually, we're going to go through this here. China, we saw this gold pump here. This is China accumulating gold. If you guys don't know, what started all this? Sanctions on Russia, a major U.S. nuclear power. Sanctions by the U.S., a major global nuclear power, I should say. We did the sanctions on them, and that's kind of what triggered China to do this. And this video is going to break it down for you quite well. Looking here, guys, this is the other side of the coin. Flip side of that coin, of that Bitcoin, is the Fed looking into payment rail access. The Federal Reserve is studying payment accounts that could give crypto and fintech financial technology firms direct access to Fed payment rails. These are the two things that we are going to talk about in this video. So let's go ahead and bring this
The
up.
good old
And
US
I
dollar.
think you guys
There was
will
a
enjoy this
All
video.
right,
So
welcome to
let's
the
check it out.
explainer. We're going to jump right in today because there's this huge financial shift happening kind of under the radar that could totally change how the world thinks about money. It's this quiet, really deliberate strategy to put gold right back at the center of everything. Okay, so let's get right to the heart of it. Why is China secretly buying up so much of the world's gold? I mean, they're on this incredible buying spree. But here's the thing, the official numbers, they don't even begin to tell the whole story. For years, China's central bank has been quietly buying more gold than anyone else, and we're only just now starting to figure out why. So if you look at the official books, right, China says they're holding about 2,300 tons of gold. And yeah, that's a lot, for sure. But it's what they're not saying that's got everyone buzzing. Because experts, people at places like Bloomberg and JP Morgan, they're estimating the real number is way, way higher. See, when you start to account for the gold that's tucked away in state-owned banks and other national funds, the total could easily be double that official number. We're talking maybe 5,000 tons? That kind of difference isn't an accident. It points to a really deliberate long-term plan that's way more than just, spreading their bets. Okay, so what's behind this massive kind of secret gold hoard? Well, it really all boils down to one thing: trust, or maybe a lack of it in the current financial system. And the trigger for all this? A growing distrust in the good old US dollar. There was a major geopolitical event that basically sent a shockwave through the entire global financial system. It forced countries all over the world to ask a really uncomfortable question. Just how safe is it to keep all our money in US dollars? And you can see this erosion of trust play out step by step. First, you had the US-China trade tensions, which got people thinking about being too dependent on the dollar. But the real game changer? That was in 2022, when the US froze $300 billion of Russia's foreign reserves. Bam, that was the wake-up call for everyone. It showed that dollar assets could be turned into a political tool. And right after that, you see central banks, especially in emerging economies, just scrambling to trade their US bonds for something they felt was safer, something apolitical, physical gold. So this brings us to the golden corridor. How does all this gold buying fit into China's bigger picture? Well, this is where it gets really interesting. They're not just stockpiling it like treasure. No, they're using...
Guys, I want you to pay attention to this part because it's interesting what they're doing with gold and how they're storing it. It's the gold blockchain, which is the idea. Yes, Andre Jick just did a good video on this, DJ Mac, absolutely. But I think this is where he got the data from, is from this this notebook LM. But they do this breakdown talking about gold being a being designed. Their vaults, how China's setting up the vaults, being a decentralized physical blockchain. It's pretty interesting. We'll continue on here.
Using it to build a whole new financial system from the ground up, an alternative to the dollar. And a really crucial piece of the puzzle was this little-known rule change. Under something
And here's
called the
that
Basel III
asset
banking
class
standards,
change
gold
that
got
they
a
were
major
talking about in the
upgrade.
chat too.
It was reclassified as a Tier 1 asset. What does that mean? It means it's now officially considered the highest quality asset a bank can hold. Basically, it's as good as cash. So it went from being, what some people called a shiny rock to being on the same level as US.
And that's actually not completely true. Because Andre Jick pulled this out and also in his video pointed this out. It's a tier 1 asset under Basel III, but it is not an HQLA, which is a high quality liquid asset. About the only thing that they consider equal to cash is U.S. Treasuries right now, and so those Treasuries are, that's what they really look at as a HQLA. Gold actually sits one tier below Treasuries for now. So yeah, it is a tier 1 asset. They did upgrade it, but it's a tier 1 asset under Basel III, not an HQLA, not same, not same.
Treasuries. This was a huge deal because it lets banks use it as top-tier collateral. So here's how this golden corridor actually works. Instead of putting all the gold in one big vault, like Fort Knox, they're spreading it out. They're building this network of connected vaults all across the BRICS nations. Then, the Shanghai Gold Exchange registers every single gold bar. We're talking purity, serial number, who owns it, and finally, all the different countries involved verify each other's holdings. So it's decentralized, but completely transparent.
You know, some people are calling it a physical blockchain, and that's actually a pretty great way to think about it. The trust doesn't come from one single source. It comes from all these different sovereign nations verifying the gold for each other, instead of, say, computer miners. It's a really clever way to build a trustworthy system.
And make no mistake, this is about way more than just money. This is a strategic move to literally redraw the financial map of the world.
So, what does this look like in practice?
Well, imagine you're an African nation with gold reserves. Instead of going through the IMF, you could deposit your gold into this new system. You could then use that gold as collateral to get a loan, say in Chinese yuan, from the BRICS Development Bank. And with that loan, you could build ports, roads, power plants, all without ever touching the dollar-based system. It's a way to bypass the whole Western financial structure and, for China, expand its influence. So you can bet Washington is paying attention. And what are they doing? Quietly, they've started bringing their own gold home. A lot of U.S. gold was stored in vaults in London, and now they're moving it back to the States. It's a classic just-in-case move, making sure they have physical control of their own assets. Now, to be clear, the U.S. still has the biggest official gold pile in the world, over 8,000 tons. But when you look at China's estimated total of around 5,000 tons, well, that gap is closing, and it's closing fast. This is more than just a numbers game. It's a real signal that the balance of monetary power could be shifting. So what this all sets up is a huge debate about the future. Gold.
And this is where we get into Bitcoin. Enter Bitcoin at this point, guys. Here we go.
Versus code. It's really a debate about the nature of money itself. What do we trust? And what should a global reserve asset even look like in the 21st century? And the potential impact here is just staggering. Think about this. If central banks around the world just bumped up their gold holdings from about 20% to 30%, that alone would create an estimated $2 trillion in new demand. And you can't just print more gold, right? A demand shock like that could do historic things to the price. So it really boils down to two competing visions for what money should be. On one hand, you've got China's model, trust is in physical gold. It's something you can touch, and it's controlled by states. On the other hand, you have the digital model, think Bitcoin. Trust is in math and energy. It's totally decentralized and transparent. Two completely different philosophies. And that leaves us with the big question, right? In this battle for the future of money, what are we going to trust? As the dollar's dominance seems to be faltering, we have to choose what's next. Is it going to be physical gold, or is it going to be digital code? The answer to that question is going to shape everything.
All right, so I think that's a really good video. Who was it that said it? DJ Mac, as he said, there was a video from Andre Jick, and he did a really good breakdown on it also, guys. But this data, let's jump back over here. This data coming in about China, I think this is where we see a lot of the stuff that's been in play already. And we've shown here on the show before talking about the revaluation of gold that the Fed Reserve is actually on fedreserve.gov's website. It's where they're going to revalue gold because current gold values right now are $42.22 per ounce at the Fed Reserve. So all of the gold they hold, the IOUs on that is only for $42.22 back. I think that what they're talking about on the revaluation of gold is that gold gets now revalued at its accurate price, its current price, and then they put, hey, give me back your $42.22 IOU. Here's your $4,200 IOU on gold. Now you need to make the difference up to the central bank here, to the Fed Reserve. And then they have all of that extra money instantly, right? Without printing it. And so it's it's budget neutral is what they call that. That's budget neutral money. And then if you look at what they said about how they would accumulate Bitcoin, this is the catch. What word did they use for how they would accumulate Bitcoin? Through budget neutral means. So I think that we end up using our gold revaluation to take that budget neutral, their word, not mine, money to then purchase Bitcoin in a budget neutral way. Again, their words, not mine. And then we end up getting Bitcoin going, where Bitcoin and gold combined become how we are competing globally in the world with the gold backed yuan. And some interesting stuff about how they're doing that decentralized vault is that, the yuan, if people want to deal in the yuan, in Chinese currency, in the BRICS nations or wherever, at any given time, they can turn in their yuan for gold. And it comes from those decentralized vaults. So that's what they did to get some people on board. I think that what we end up doing is that we have our gold and we have our Bitcoin and we have our treasuries, right? And we go, look, we've got the money in Bitcoin and gold to back our treasuries, so you guys can still trust that the dollar is going to have a valuation. But for the speed of doing things, for moving money, we now offer you stable coins. And those stable coins, we know that that's a play that's also in the U.S. books too, because of the Genius Act and the Clarity Act. So I think that we're seeing the U.S. playing the game, but they've got to set up the ball before they spike it. And I think that that's going to be probably in the next 1 to 2 years, just my opinion. So I hope you guys wrapped your brain around all that. It's a lot to take in. I know that. But yeah, I'm just watching all of this stuff play out. And it's moving at the speed of life, which is pretty slow sometimes. But at the end of the day, we are making sure that we're positioning on that. And how do we do that? We make sure we catch the bottom on Bitcoin. So I do want to go over some Bitcoin stuff. But if you guys got any questions on this stuff, go ahead and drop them in the chat. It's a solo show today. So, I mean, we can sit here and talk about some stuff while I pull up some charts. But if you guys have any thoughts, any questions, any opinions on any of that, let me know in the chat. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on this. And if you're watching this video later, let me know down below. Let me know down below what you guys think about this thing that I think we have going on here between Bitcoin, revaluation of gold, and budget neutral. And if you guys go and look, those are not my words. That is the words used in the when they talked about Bitcoin treasuries in the U.S., Bitcoin reserves, and it's also the same wording, exact same wording that they used in the benefits of revaluing gold. So treasuries until the government figures out how not to run on a deficit. Yep. Do we think gold and silver is going higher? I do. I think gold and silver does end up going higher. I think that we are due for a cool off though. It is not healthy for a market to run straight up like gold has done. So it does need to consolidate a little bit and chill the F out, gold. JR, how long did it take you to become a trading legend, Army? Still not a trading legend, man. I look at the charts and they tell me things and I listen and I protect my wealth. So DJ, yes, gold runs normally last years. Absolutely. But I do think that right now I wouldn't ape in. Now dollar cost average, man, it's always the way. That's why we have the Piper plan for Bitcoin and some select alts. So absolutely. I'm not tinfoil hatting today. This is not a tinfoil hat. This is called predictive analysis, BC Port Corp. This is literally where you take information, data, and you use it to identify the projection. It's kind of like a point of origin and a point of impact of an indirect fire round. I can tell you where it came from based on the details at ground where it hit. And it's going to give you a skid mark. That's going to give you an azimuth. You can look at the type and go, this is about a 2.5 kilometer. Look at the impact blast. When it's spread out, that means that they shot it lower. If it is it more of a crater in, that means they shot it from higher. And then you can get that backward inverse arch there and then get back to this is how we do predictive analysis. We can look at the past, we can look at the future based on what we see now. Yes. So never, I quit. No, you can look, no one's ever going to become a trade master, JR. You're going to have winners and you're going to have losers. The goal is to have more winners than losers, right? And risk management helps with that tremendously. So don't give up. All right, let's go look at the Bitcoin chart. Let's take a look and see what's going on. That's still Ethereum. Can we go back to Bitcoin? Bitty boy, thank you very much. Yeah, we're running into that value area low. That's the area that I told you about earlier. Let's go look at gold, and then let's look at silver, and we'll see where we are with time. Yeah, gold absolutely getting a sell-off here. For everyone who said I'm quitting my job and going into gold, there's your golden arches. There's your McDonald's. Okay, so yeah, you can go back to McDonald's and get your job back now. No, guys, I think we're going to get this healthy pullback. I'm watching for some key levels here. I want to put this on higher time frames. Higher time frames. I'm watching for like 3,900, honestly, guys. We got this box here that I'm going to put on for you. And it's going to be, get magnet, sir. Magnet, thank you. We're going to be looking at like this level here. That's going to be the box. And it's going to be because of the volume node here. If you take a look at the volume node, let's go throw a volume, fixed range volume profile in here. Fixed range volume profile. We're going to run it from here where we got this nice pump. Our point of control for all of this is all the way down here at the golden pocket. That's $3,600. So you guys cannot even see the chart. There we go. Can you see the chart, please? Yes, you can. All right. Yeah. So here you go. We got this nice box here. This is where OC would have said you're not showing your chart. We got this nice box here. This is coming off of this volume area. You can see price range had a play in here. And then we also had another one down here. But we had this platinum pocket. But look at the point of control. Point of control coming off of this consolidation area where we just kind of grinded it before we did this massive crazy pump. This is back in August. This area, this point of control is coming in at like 36.79 right here in line with the golden pocket, guys. So we could get a pretty hefty pullback on gold. How about silver? Silver's just on a massive sell-off. And I want to just pull. We're going to pull here from this range to this range. You're probably looking at like $45 to $46 coming in on silver. There you go. Cool. I see you guys got charts now. Sorry, DJ Mac. Sorry about that. And then looking at gold here, let's do a pull on that one real fast just to see what we get here. Again, golden pockets coming in right down there near that platinum pocket. So, or not right near that point of control. I mean, so again, guys, we're probably looking at like $3,700 that we could pull back to on gold. On silver, we're probably looking at like $43 to $45 that we could pull back to. And those might be some good areas to pick up. Bitcoin, how are we looking on that still? And I pointed this out yesterday in the class, in the session. You sold a nice chunk of silver at the top. All right, man. Love it. I love it. He said,
abandoned ship. I love gold.
All right, let's take a look here. So yeah, we are getting that rejection there, guys. Again, I do think that if we come down to 105, we need to hold the quantum reactor down here. If we don't hold the quantum reactor on the daily, then which is where we bounced last time, by the way, then we're very likely looking at like 101.3. The bonus to this is that the longer that it takes, the longer we stay up here going sideways, the higher our 52-week simple moving average is coming. And so you can see, like, even if it's like out in November 10th, we're looking at a level of about $103,000 there that this would be at. And that would be the bounce that we have to get, because historically, that is where we get our support at, is that 52-week. Once we lose all of this bull market support band, daily dynamic reactor, quantum reactor, once we lose those, it's that 52-week SMA. Now, once we do hit it, guys, be aware, and I keep banging this drum. The alumni have heard this 100 times if they've heard it once, or once if they heard it 100 times. Whatever the hell the line is. Looking at Piper, sell me your silver. I'm not selling my silver yet, man. Once we lose these levels here, if we don't find our support and we lose it, look, retest of it, and then that's the crypto winter, right? The bear market. Look here again, previous cycle, come in, rejection, support, rejection, and then that's it there, right? Then we get back above it, but we went lower. Of course, this is COVID-19. We're talking about the nasty row dump, and then we got stimulated out of it. So, but look here, bounce, rejection, comes in, tries to hold it, loses it. There's your OC retest on it, goes into crypto winner. Let's go a little bit further back. I want to see how the cycle before this played out. Let's go on Bitstamp so I get more of that history. Let's go back. Going back, way back, the Wayback Machine. Okay, so here in 2014, we never came back to test. You can see it was support. We never came back to test the 52-week. We actually just rejected straight off the bull market support band, which became the bear market resistance band down into our bottom of the cycle. So overall, guys, if we lose this, what does it tell us? Likely heading into crypto winter. And so that's why it's important to know where we are today in relationship to that price. One thing I will point out is this entire cycle we have held, and this is a fib based, this is a fib channel, guys, going through the entire history of Bitcoin here. I'll go ahead and turn off this other stuff for a second. This is a fib channel that I use that I built onto the Bitstamp Bitcoin chart, and it's on logarithmic, but it historically we've never come below the golden pocket. Every single cycle we bounced out of it until this cycle. And look at this cycle. It's pretty insane what happened here. It became our resistance on the golden pocket, but we've stayed inside of the platinum pocket and the golden pocket for this entire cycle. Where are we at right now? Look what's happening here. We're bouncing on it. If we lose this, we have to assume that going on and through the cycle, we could be looking at this being our old, hey, we don't break this during bear markets, right? The golden pocket here, how we bounced off of it all this time. We tried to hold it here for months, 2 months, and then broke it. We have to go, okay, if we do lose this, maybe this channel becomes what used to be this channel or this channel, right? And so if that's the case, you'd be looking at into the 2026 cycle, down in the $80,000, $79,000 range on Bitcoin. Is that crazy to think about? I don't think so, especially when you come over here and we look at this. Let's look at ROI after halving. Shout out to Eric Ballin Wallen. We're looking here at this chart, and you can see where we are from the halving right now. You see what's going on here? We're actually past right now. We're actually past our 2014 cycle, cycle halving 2 and cycle halving 3. We're now past both of those. So looking at days since halving, we theoretically and technically are in the range of our top for time base, right? If we take a look at this and we go to the bottoms, right? Look how low. Look at the tops here. Okay, well, the first one was a much earlier one, but it grinded all the way down. But let's just look at these two. We're in line with having cycle 2 and having cycle 3's top. And they all did a pretty significant drop down. We're talking 2.5 lines here. We would be back down into ranges that are in line with the $80,000 range. So we got to keep all that in mind. Now, what happens on the pullback? Do we get 70% typical pullback? Maybe not. There might be a lot of buy-in from ETF buyers, but I think at the end of the day, we have to assume that until we see data that tells us that, hey, things have changed, then we have to assume that it will be in line with the norm. So I think that if we do get a pullback, that $75,000, $80,000 range, probably a good range, which would still be above our previous cycle high. Keep that in mind. So that's depressing. What do you guys got going on over here? Big process. Try selling old money. It's way worse. Was already dumped. My silver, found out I have to send it out to be tested first. It's been a half day loading it up in a well barrel. Robert Mulligan, Piper, selling your silver. Did I miss something here? I have 3 $1,000 bills. It's mind-boggling how hard it is to find a buyer. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Awesome. Guys, I appreciate you all for being here. You guys are awesome. I hope you guys got something out of today's data. I like to do these little deep dives every now and then and give you guys a little something. But you know, hey, look, if the cycle top is in, I'm not saying that it is. It could be, it could not be. Who knows, right? We don't try to predict. We just handle things as they come. And my way of doing that is dollar cost averaging with a dynamic buy-in, meaning we increase it as it goes down. We put energy and weight into that slingshot for the next move up. So, but yeah, if you guys are thinking that you know, some of my alts are way under, it might be time to take a look at, is it worth seeing another, you know, if Bitcoin has a 70% drop, you're talking a 90% drop from here on altcoins from here. I guess Bitcoin is down about what? Hold on, let me check something. At this level, Bitcoin is down 17%. So 50% more from here on Bitcoin. You'd probably be looking at 60 to 70% pullback on your altcoins at this point. But yeah, if that's the case, can you afford that? And if you can, then set it as your dollar cost average. But remember, there's no guarantee at all that your altcoins that are good now are going to be good the next cycle. Take a look at Cardano. Hashtag Cardano. There's a perfect example for you. But guys, I appreciate you all. Oh, he wants me to look at OKLO real fast. BC Port Corp said, Piper, go look at OKLO. Fine, we'll look at OKLO. 1 second. It's probably got a pullback today. Why? Because that's what we're seeing. That's what we're seeing. Yeah, it's pretty decent little pullback there from its top. Let's see here, man. Oh, I am on a weekly. Hold on. Stand by. Get back off that chart. There you go. Let's go over here and pull up OKLO. OKLO. Is this the BC? Is this the uranium? Is that what this is? Is this that chart? Sir, let me know. Let me know. I'm pretty sure it is. All right. Is there a link to that video? I'd sure like to watch it over and over again. Robert Mulligan, I will drop a link in the Discord for Andre Jick. It's got pretty much the same thing, but he's got a few more better explanations. Veritech, what's up, Bill? How you doing, bro? I'll drop that and tag at everyone in the Discord. So let's take a look at OKLO here for BC Port Corp before we head out. Let's go and throw on that. I got a lot of fair value gaps in there. A lot of fair value gaps. And then I want to throw on a couple of other things here. Liquidity zones, trend lines. Do that. Let's do that. Perfect. All right, so we got this nice little broadening wedge here that we kind of broke out of. If I extend this on to the right, we'll just draw it on there. Draw this on there. I would watch for us to close out this fair value gap. Look for a bounce at about 133.01. We do have, I want to point something out. We did get a peak seeker downtrend and a VWAP overbought here. We did print a bearish divergence, but it looks like we're trying to curve here and volume is still coming up. So I do suspect that we're probably going to do a pullback to about 133. Let's throw a quick fib on there and see what that looks like from this level down here to here. Yeah, golden pocket's going to be coming right into that range also. I think this chart looks pretty good. I don't think this is going down anytime soon. This is looking at the daily, of course. We put it on the 4 hour. You can see we've had pretty hefty sell-off, but that's just because everything's kind of reshuffling. You can't pump forever, just like gold and just like silver. We're seeing that there too. So exactly, Alexander G. You know. All right, guys. Appreciate you all for being here. I hope you guys got something out of today. I will drop that video over in the Discord for you guys as soon as I get off of here. So be watching for that. And appreciate you guys always, man. We'll be back here tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to bring you guys a whole nother show. We'll see if OC's back tomorrow or not. And then tonight, OC will be live with trade setups with OC Guy. If you guys are into trading, make sure you check that out because he's always got some fire trade calls. And then tomorrow morning, BC Port Corp may be back, maybe not. I don't know. He's about as predictable as Texas weather. So we'll see if he's going to be here tomorrow. But we'll be back here 10 a.m. bringing you guys the news, the charts, the markets, and everything you need to have knowledge because knowledge is profit. Until next time, guys, trade safe. Use some risk management. Peace, love, profits. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. Give a shout out to Alexander G. Later, guys.
That's the rap. Chart stack data never lie. Piper led the mission, OC in the sky. Spaghetti on the screen, but the vision stay prime. Chart prime visual, signals on time. Alumni strong, we built from the grind. Lessons in the market that'll outlive time. Knowledge is profit, you know how we run. Till the next one, stay sharp, get it done.
You can't handle the truth. Emotional damage.
We'll see you at the next
They don't
one.
know what the fuck they're doing.
Morning market report out.
Boom shakalaka.
We'll see you at the next one. Morning market report out. We'll see you at the next one. Morning market report. Ow.
Hey, we're heading over to Dano Crypto, guys. When you guys get over there, drop them graduation caps. Much love, y'all.
That was awesome, dude.
Hey, it didn't break. What else you got?